Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're diving into something that's literally invisible to most of us as we just go about our daily lives, but the stakes surrounding it, they could not be higher. We're talking about the equipment that basically acts as the traffic cops and the emergency brakes for our entire modern power grid. I'm talking, of course, about switchgear.
I mean, really think about it for a second. What actually controls the massive, raw power of our electrical grid? Electricity is an incredibly formidable force, right? And without an ultimate safeguard, a system that instantly detects faults and protects both the heavy equipment and human life from uncontrolled electricity, our modern world just simply couldn't function. And that ultimate safeguard is switchgear.
So here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll cover the basics of switchgear, then look at why it matters, walk through the actual maintenance procedure, talk about the electrical and functional testing, and finally, look at a real-world example with an 11 kilovolt vacuum breaker.
All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, the basics of switchgear.
So what exactly is it? Well, switchgear is essentially a combination of electrical devices. Its main job is to control, protect, isolate, and switch electrical circuits and equipment. In real terms, this specific combination of devices is the exact thing ensuring the safe, reliable operation of our power systems. How does it do that? By instantly detecting faults, like a sudden short circuit or a massive overload, and immediately disconnecting those faulty sections way before a disaster can actually strike.
You know, it's not just one big switch inside a switchgear assembly. It's actually a whole team of components working together. You've got your heavy lifters, like the circuit breaker, isolators, and earthing switches. Then you've got the sensors, namely the current and voltage transformers, and they step down the massive power so the system can actually monitor it safely. Add in the protective relays, which act like the brains of the operation, the bus bars carrying the heavy current, and the control panels, and together they form a comprehensive, highly intelligent defense system for the grid.
Moving right along to Section 2, why switchgear matters.
And let me tell you, the stakes are incredibly high here. We're not just trying to keep machines running, we are actively preventing catastrophic failures. Switchgear protects multi-million-dollar equipment from faults, but much more importantly, it ensures personnel safety. If a massive power surge hits, you absolutely want the switchgear to take that hit, not a human operator. Plus, by isolating those faults super quickly, it minimizes downtime, improves the overall system reliability, and makes it physically safe to perform other maintenance on the grid.
Which brings us to Section 3, the maintenance procedure.
Since this equipment is so crucial, keeping it in top shape is absolutely non-negotiable. The physical maintenance phase is a really strict four-part process. It kicks off with life-saving safety prep, meaning isolating the equipment and applying lockout-tagout protocols while wearing full personal protective equipment. Only after that's done can technicians do thorough visual inspection for hazards like moisture or burn marks. That's followed by a deep cleaning, and finally a mechanical inspection to lubricate and verify every single moving part. But here's the absolute most critical point. Before anyone does any of that physical work, I mean before a technician even thinks about touching an interlock, wiping down an insulator, or lubricating a gear, they have to complete one mandatory prerequisite. They absolutely must verify the absence of voltage. 0 voltage is literally the only acceptable number before any visual inspection or cleaning can even begin.
Okay, on to Section 4, electrical and functional testing.
Once the physical inspection is totally out of the way, we dive into the really technical phase. This is the part that guarantees flawless reaction during a crisis. Technicians test the physical, electrical resistance, verify the protective relay brains we talked about earlier, inspect the transformers, and run functional tests just to ensure the system trips exactly when commanded. And of course, every single result is meticulously documented so they can perfectly schedule the next maintenance run. It's actually kind of fascinating how they split this testing up. You've basically got two categories, static versus dynamic tests. Static tests, like measuring insulation resistance or contact resistance, are all about verifying the physical integrity of the materials themselves. Dynamic tests, on the other hand, are all about action. That involves testing the timing of the opening and closing, hitting the trip circuits, and running remote operations to see the active functional responses of the switchgear under simulated conditions.
Okay, let's look at a couple of specific numbers from those static tests, starting with this one, 100 megaohms. During an insulation resistance test, technicians measure between phase-to-phase and phase-to-ground. Typical passing values have to be greater than this massive metric of 100 megaohms. You might be wondering, why does it have to be so incredibly high? Well, because the insulation needs to provide unbelievable resistance to completely prevent dangerous electrical arcs, which, by the way, can burn hotter than the surface of the sun from jumping where they shouldn't.
Now, take that huge number and completely flip it, 100 microohms. During a contact resistance test, technicians use a microohmiometer to measure the resistance directly between the breaker contacts. And for this, we want the resistance to be less than a microscopic 100 microohms. We need electricity to flow perfectly through those contacts without generating any excess heat, so the resistance right there has to be as close to zero as possible. Let's look at a real-world application in Section 5. Example, 11 kilovolt vacuum breaker. Let's see how all of this actually plays out by zooming all the way into a micro-level case study. We're looking at an 11 kilovolt indoor vacuum circuit breaker. In this specific maintenance run, the team locked out the 11 kilovolt unit, completely cleared the compartment, and inspected the vacuum interrupter. After they got the mechanics all lubricated, they went ahead and successfully tested the trip functions and all the remote operations. Now, the results here are honestly pretty mind-blowing when you think about the sheer scale and speed. The insulation tested at a massive 2,500 megaohms, which gives us plenty of safety margin. But the most impressive part, for sure, is the dynamic timing. This breaker snapped open to stop a simulated fault in a lightning-fast 42 milliseconds. Just for some context, a human blink takes about 300 milliseconds. So this piece of equipment is reacting nearly 10 times faster than the blink of an eye just to keep the grid safe. And then looking at the contact resistance across all three electrical phases, that's the R, Y, and B phases, the resistance came in at 45, 42, and 44 microohms. This really highlights those incredibly tight tolerances. They all sit comfortably below that 100 microohm threshold we talked about earlier, which basically means the contacts are in superb condition to carry the massive load efficiently. So, after all that, what was the final verdict for this case study? Well, thanks to this incredibly exhaustive 9-step protocol, the equipment was officially found to be in satisfactory condition. It was safely returned to service, put right back online where it belongs, and it is continuing its job of silently protecting the power grid. And that pretty much wraps up our explainer for today. You know, it really is fascinating how much work goes into the things we just completely take for granted. Next time you casually flip a switch and turn on the lights in your living room or at your office, take just a second to ask yourself, somewhere down the line, when was the last time the switchgear protecting that power was tested? It's a really great reminder to appreciate the invisible, meticulous maintenance that is quite literally powering our entire modern world. Thanks so much for joining me today to explore this vital topic.